So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants?
What do you mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Y'all thought black people, black Americans, African Americans, blacks, us, were immigrants. Hardest lessons.
As Black Americans, we need to normalize when people ask us where we're from, we simply say we're from America because that is true. But
it is kind of jacked up to find out that, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand.
Family, welcome back to Brilliant Reacts YouTube channel, and today we are going to react to a certain claim that I've heard it way too many times. Why do some people think the Black Americans are immigrants? Yeah, let's get into that by watching these videos, and kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment down below your opinions and thoughts about this.
So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying. Don't immigrants go like on their own? If they go to a particular country on their own accord, because they may be trying to get away from whatever. We ain't come here because we wanted to be here. We still don't want to be here. Hell, we hoping that they maybe put us out and send us somewhere. Well, what do y'all mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Immigrants? Y'all know the story of how we got here? Do that make sense? Like, this world is so disillusioned about African Americans. We're descendants of Africa, but we've been here for hundreds of years. We're not first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. Like, we've been here. We built this country. The foundation of this country is built by African Americans. We didn't come here because we want to be here. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all thought we were immigrants. Immigrants? Who? Where? Immigrants? I got papers to prove I ain't no immigrant. Like, some of the stuff that I hear on social media is correct. Like, for real, y'all thought we were immigrants. Come on now. Stop playing. We don't want to be here now. Get us out of here.
as Black Americans, we need to normalize when people ask us where we're from, we simply say we're from America because that is true. But you know what? Some people are intellectually curious, and so they might say, "Oh, via where?" And they might be trying to build a bond with you. And you can simply say, "I'm multi-generational American. My ancestors came to America via the transatlantic slave trade hundreds of years ago." And I use that all the time, and people literally grasp it immediately. Even if they don't, they know enough not to keep prying and ask. It usually closes the door. Also, I think because this is the global history of so many countries around the world, like Jamaica and Haiti and Barbados and St. Vincent, St. Lucia, I mean, I can go on. But like for some reason, sometimes when Black Americans, because America has such an immigrant history, there's a perception that you are first and second generation immigrant, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And sometimes people are just simply asking because you remind them of their countrymen, which I think is like a really good compliment. But also, as a Black American, you don't owe anyone a history lesson. Sometimes there is an educational deficit in their home country, or there is somehow an educational deficit, culturally, and they just don't have that history and they don't have that context. Yes, they understand Americanness and they understand Western culture, and they see Black Americans on TV and all these things, but a lot of times they don't have the historical context. And if you feel like it, go off and give them the history lesson. But what I will never do, it's no shade to y'all, what I will never do is look somebody dead in the eye and tell them I don't know where I'm from. Because I know exactly where I'm from. And I'm super proud. It's a super rich history with a super rich cultural context and diaspora community.
What do you mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Y'all thought black people, black Americans, African Americans, blacks, us, were immigrants. Hardest lessons, clearly, it's going to take me a long time to learn and figure out is that other people just don't know what I know. I assume that a lot of people know what I know. That's why y'all keep saying that, huh? That makes sense, I guess. The we're next. Y'all think, what? How do y'all not know how long we've been a part of this country? Black people fought in the crispest attics. Did everybody not, at my little church, Every Black History Month, there was this huge thing. I'll never forget when I came to my grandma's house. It was a huge package, and it was all of these cards. They were ABC cards, but on every card, letter of the alphabet, and an important person from Black history. And that was what we did all February at Sunday school. Like, we learned those cards. We would have to, and then we'd line up at like the Black History program, and we'd have to read them out loud. So I guess I just assumed, oh my God.
Here's something they would never tell you in school. Black Americans are not immigrants. We're not minorities. We're not former slaves in the way they framed it. We are prisoners of war. Think about it. War was declared on our people the moment Europeans landed on these shores. Not just in Africa, right here on this land, Turtle Island, the Americas. We were already here, from the Carolinas to California. We were the copper-skinned tribes they couldn't control, so they reclassified us, called us colored, Negro, and African American to sever the roots. But this was war. Mass incarceration, that's a POW camp. The ghetto, that's a containment zone. Public school curriculum, man, that's psychological warfare. And the 13th Amendment, a legal trap to turn freedmen back into slaves. Don't believe me? Look at the language. Negro became a status, not a nationality. And once you strip a people of nationhood, you can do anything to them. Take their land, take their names, make them believe their home is elsewhere. But here's the truth they buried. Many of us descendants of the original Americans, the Yamasee, the Washita, Choctaw, and the Blackfoot, we weren't born here. We were already here. The war wasn't overseas. It was domestic, and it never ended. This isn't about victimhood. It's about status. It's about reclaiming identity, because until we know who we are, we're still prisoners in their system. And the moment we remember, the war ends. Ashe, peace to the gospel.
It is kind of jacked up to find out that, people around the globe thought that African Americans were immigrants. That's pretty jacked up. Like, all this time y'all thought we were immigrants? I don't understand even why people would think that, because here you have the whole Caribbean, the whole South America, and then we have North America right here. And you would think that, okay, yeah, I mean, everybody else is cool. You know what I'm saying? Jamaicans are Jamaicans, Haitians are Haitians, you know what I'm saying? Why on earth would people think that we are immigrants when we got over here before the founding of the country? Why in the world would people think that we're immigrants? African Americans, I mean. Okay? That is so weird. Like, and to see how it actually affected how they voted. I mean, this really opened up a can of worms right here. This really did open up a can of worms. It affected how they voted. It affected all the things they would say about us for a long period of time. Like, they really thought that we were the immigrants of the United States of America. So how is it that people would think we are immigrants? That makes absolutely no sense. All this time. And see now, then when I saw that Cuban lady on here talking about you know what? African Americans are the only ones who can help us. For the longest time, we have been clowning African Americans, blah, 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 and they're the only ones that can help us. They can't be deported. So, even though the video was honestly true, right? But when you say that, right? You said that out your mouth, right? That means that the only reason why you would even try to be around us at this point is to secure your status here? After talking all that trash? She was talking about Cubans. I'm going to specifically say she was talking about Cuban America. She was talking about Cubans, okay? Nobody else. I don't want to put all the whole. She was talking about that because she was Cuban. She said, "I've always been with them, but you know, if you're gonna kiss anybody's butt, you're gonna have to kiss Black American butt." What? This thing is blowing my mind, really. Because the fact that, because I did a whole video about this and I was telling someone from out of the country, talking about when we come over to the country, we like to align with white people because that's where we get our success from. And I said flat out, said, you do not get your success from white people. White people don't even want you here. You get your success from black people. That just went completely over a lot of people. Say just like, they're like, how in the world is that? I mean, it seems like the globe does not consider us. And then they would always say, what kind of power do you have? What kind of power do African Americans have? Do you not realize? Do you not realize that there's white people in Congress? And then guess what? Guess who's next? Guess who has the most power in Congress? Black Americans. Now I understand that the globe, many, probably the majority, just thought we were just over here. And now it makes sense why every time they look at us, right, they say they don't consider us actual founders of the country. All they do, they sit there and they say slave. When they see us, they say slave. That's what they see. Because I've actually looked at comments and been called it myself, slave. So they're actually living in the 1700s still. The globe is living in the 1700s and the 1800s when they look at us. When they look at African Americans, that's what they look. So that's actually to our advantage in a lot of different ways. So while we were over here fighting for everyone's civil rights, everyone else was looking at us as that. That is so wild to me. And now that the same people they were chasing are kicking them out or saying, we're not going to kick you out. And that's another thing. They're saying, we're not going to kick you out, really, if you work in agriculture or in hospitality. They're basically saying, we'll let you stay here if you're working the jobs we need worked. That says a lot. Okay. That says a lot. Okay. And the same people that they trying to, get proximity to are kicking them out of the country, which I said that a long time ago in one of my videos. I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. What's going on? Flip. I don't know what's going on, but as an African American, just use it to your advantage.
I posted about something I had seen. Not just once, because I wouldn't have posted it if I had only seen it once. I saw multiple times. So I thought I'd join the conversation about how some people from other countries, immigrants, did not know that Black Americans are not immigrants. Got some Latinos in the comments saying that that's a lie, that yes, they do know that. If you do know that, which I always thought you did, but if you do, I have to wonder, why would someone ask Black Americans where they're from? Why would that even be a question? Like, I can understand assuming that I'm not Black American, that I am from Africa. But after I tell you, like, let's say you ask me, where are you from? And I tell you, I'm from America. Why would you follow it up with, no, where are you really from? Why would there be more? If you know about the history of slavery, once I tell you that I'm from America, why wouldn't you just assume that I'm a descendant of chattel slavery? That's my question. Because to continue to ask someone, either you don't know or you know and you're trying to put me down. Which one is it?
So I'm gonna throw my hat in this too and just say that I agree with all of the black creators that are saying that all of these other folk thought that black Americans were immigrants, and that when they was voting for Trump, they thought that we would be deported, and that does have something to do with why they keep saying that we're next, because they don't quite understand that we are not immigrants. Okay, the last time in American history that they tried to send black people back to Africa, okay, was in the 1800s. Okay, this was after emancipation, when they were like, hey, you know, those of you that want to stay here, y'all can stay here, and then those of you who want to leave, here's $100. That's what they gave them at the time, was $100, and y'all can leave. Okay, and some of them went over to Liberia, and some of them went to the Bahamas. The Gullah Geechee went to the Bahamas. Okay, some of them, not all of them. A lot of them still sitting in Charleston, still sitting on the Sea Islands right now. Okay, so I think they didn't understand that. I realized further that they didn't understand that when they decided that the community they was going to come to ask for support in this here immigration shindig was the black community, when we know the absolute least about immigration. Like, we don't even know anything about it. We don't know how the laws work. We don't know none of that. We don't have any experience with it at all. At all. Our families have been here since like the 1500s. we don't know nothing about the shit. Okay? And our families have been officially Americans since 1863. Like, we have nothing, no information for you. We don't know anything to tell you. Okay? And we are also protected by law. We are protected by the Constitution. I don't think they understand that. We are literally protected by the Constitution. Okay? So it made no sense. It didn't make no sense. But I agree with what y'all saying, though. They did not know that. I don't think they quite understood or knew that. And then also, when it comes to black immigrant population, per the data from the government statistical data, 4.5 million of immigrants are black. 4.5 from African and Caribbean countries. Okay? So I would estimate their population, guesstimated at being, including their children, I would guesstimate it at being no more than 15 million people. Out of a country of 300 million people, there's only 15 million of them that are black immigrants or first or second gen. Like, they ain't even on their way to like 4, 5, 6 gens yet. So, okay. Don't do this dumbass shit again if you think that it's going to be black people. Okay, if you think it's going to be black Americans. Don't do this dumbass shit no more. Have a good day.
People know black Americans is not no fucking immigrants. They just be having something to say. They know we are not immigrants. But that do kind of, bring a point up when they be talking about, oh, you guys don't know where you from. You guys don't know where you from. We always say we from America. We've been from America for the last 400, 500, 600,000 years. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, huh? How is that possible? Because we are Americans. Like, you guys are Nigerian and Ethiopian and Jamaican and South American and Brazilian and Colombia and all of these different things, Cuban and all of them. We are American, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's where we from. So I kind of understood where people was coming from when they was like, but you guys know where you from. No, you guys didn't know where we was from. We knew where we was from. We know where we from. All right? So that's what it is.
5 American facts to break an immigrant's back. Black Americans did not immigrate here. We were trafficked through chattel slavery. The first Americans arrived in Virginia in 1619, not as immigrants, but as chattel property under violent colonial rule. No visa, no port of entry, no green card. Only forced labor, rape, and death. That's it. Black Americans were here before most white, Asian, or Latino immigrants. Do your history, do your research. 1865, over 4 million black people had already lived, worked, and died in America before the majority of European, Mexican, Chinese, or Caribbean immigrant waves began to come here. Source, U.S. Census, 1860. Black Americans are the only group whose citizenship was legislated. The 14th Amendment, 1860, was written specifically for descendants of American slaves, not immigrants. It granted legal citizenship to Black Americans who have been born on U.S. soil but treated as property. Source, U.S. Constitution, Congressional Record, Civil Rights Act, 1866. Black Americans fought in every American war before many groups were ever even allowed in America. From the Revolutionary War to the Vietnam War to Iraq, foundational Black Americans have fought, bled, and died to defend a country that doesn't even consider us human. I hope you guys understand that our blood is spilt on the land of America. Fact number 5, to break the immigrants' back, to break the ignorance of immigrants' mind, okay? Most Latino immigration was not legal until 1965. 1965? The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 removed the racial quotas that had previously blocked non-European immigration. That means the majority of Latino families didn't enter the U.S. legally until the 20th century, while Black Americans had already been here for 400 years. 400 years. So I'm saying that to say this. I think that one of the biggest problems that we have in both communities is we don't have knowledge of who each other are. And I believe if the Hispanic community had more knowledge of who Black Americans actually are, they would automatically have more respect for us, right? They don't know who we are, so they don't respect us. I don't know if that's to blame them or the government, but something's got to change. And that was 5 facts to break an immigrant's back.
Y'all know when Latinos and Hispanics be like Black Americans are next, they really thought that Black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They tried to get us up out of here. But I got to say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously. Because Black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between black and white that they're white adjacent, when that's far from the truth. It's only 3 categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have Black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the Black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money, trillions of dollars, in painting Black people as the bad guys. That's the default, to even get rid of Black Americans, as sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as Black Americans. They're not cosplaying as Black Americans to trick us Black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans because they don't want to be deported.
Americans are not immigrants. Their ancestors were brought here as slaves. They have been in America for over 1,000 years. They have helped build this country by blood, sweat, and tears. Some people, some Latinos should do away with asking them, where are you guys coming from? What's your country? What's your origin? Because this seems to be harmful and disrespectful. We should respect the Black Americans. I know they are not just part of the story, they are the story themselves. Remember that where a foundation is being destroyed, what will happen to the house? Without the foundation, the house will be unshaky, unstable, and it can even collapse. Anyway, guys, I would love to hear your opinions concerning this. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and support. See you on to the next video. Bye.